Thank you, Andy. That was a beautiful choice. Sounded lovely. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Well, as you know, I'm Gillian Finn, or at least most of you know. I'm Gillian Finn, and it's my pleasure to welcome you all here today to the Berkeley Fellowship of Unitarian Universalists, and a special welcome to our friends on Zoom. We are part of a free religious tradition that honors the loving heart, the open mind, and growing together within the beloved community. We honor people of all spiritual traditions, as you can see from the banners on our wall. Please make sure your cell phones are silenced. And if you have any special announcements, please write them down and give them to Jeff, who's there in the AV corner, and he will deal with them later in the service. Our fellowship stands on land that is today called Berkeley, California. We are located in the stolen territory of the Ohlone people. We acknowledge their history and honor them today and always for their wisdom and resilience.
At the unnational monument along the Canadian border. This is the field where the battle did not happen, where the unknown soldier did not die. This is the field where grass joined hands, where no monument stands, and the only heroic thing is the sky. Birds fly here without any sound, unfolding their wings across the open. No people killed or were killed on this ground, hollowed by neglect and an air so tame that people celebrate it by forgetting its name.
Thank you, Mary. And before we proceed, just a quick note, not to record any part of the service. BFUU records it, and you can always find it on our website. We will now light our chalices. If you're joining us from home, please light your own chalice or candles now, while we light this communal chalice for all of us. This is a symbol of our tradition and the spirit that lives within every one of us. Please read with me our unison chalice lighting words, which can be found in your order of service. Let love be the spirit of this congregation and service its goal. This is our living covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truths in life, and to help one another. We light our red candle to mourn Black lives taken by many types of violence. We proclaim that Black lives matter and to express our commitment to Black liberation, reparations, and the end of slave capitalism. Now, please join the choir in singing "We Shall Not Be Moved," and it's on page 260 from the Rise Up Singing book.
Shall
Thank you, everybody, for the spirit there. And now Virginia is going to read to us from the preamble to the U.S. Constitution.
Good morning. Actually, we're going to do it together. It's very short, and we want you to participate. So I'm going to say a line and ask you to repeat it so that we can all be in this together. How about that? Preamble of the United States Constitution. We, okay. We, the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. For the United States of America. All right. Thank you. Well done. Thank you. Wow.
Yeah. A prayer for America. God of many names, you who has endowed us with the inalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, let us remember this day that in this country there is no national religion. There is no superior race. There is no preferable gender or orientation. We gather holding a common value that the glory of this country rests first and foremost in its diversity. Out of many ideas, out of many beliefs, out of many views, out of many voices, out of many passions, out of many experiences, we are one. Help us, O God, to never forget that we need not be alike to live and love alike. We ask for forgiveness this day for our national and individual transgressions when we have chosen inaction or silence in the face of injustice and abuse of power, and our failure to claim our own. We ask for forgiveness for when we have not known our own neighbor, fed our hungry, or equipped our future generations with knowledge and love. We ask for a blessing for this nation according to our own faith and forms, and pledge our voice in support of moving closer and closer to freedom. These and the prayers of our hearts we pray now in the silence, in the names of those who have come before and those who are yet to be, in the names of all the helpers of humankind. Amen. We will now share a time of silent reflection.
We will now have our ritual of joys and sorrows. The ritual of joys and sorrows is a time for each of us to share what is in our hearts this week and ask for community prayers and support. Each week, we lay out a book over there, which Jeff is bringing to me now. Are there entries for today, Jeff? Okay. First, I will read these. The joy of accepting friends is the first entry. In love we are created, in love we disappear. Those are words by Leonard Cohen. I'm not sure who wrote that. Please pray for Larry, Lawrence, Kirsten, Christine, and Jinky for healing and whatever else their hearts desire. That's from Reverend Jojo. For Eric Hultgreen, who with his family, Brother Glenn Hultkin, Nancy, and others, was a long-time part of BFUU, passed on Tuesday night. His family will host a service for him at home and welcome members of BFUU there. That's from Virginia. For the health and safety of the crew on the Freedom Flotilla boat that was seized by Israel, yet again. It was seeking to deliver baby formula to Gaza, but it was pirated by the IDF.
From Mike on Zoom, Mike and Jinky, grateful that our daughter Cisa is here for a visit. And happy birthday, Carolina, granddaughter.
Thanks, Jeff. And now is the time to speak aloud, if you're comfortable, the names of those who are in your thoughts and you would like to bring to the community.
Hungry people. Starving people in Gaza. Amen.
All those who blindly follow inhumane orders. And now, for anything that is in our hearts but feels too private or sensitive to speak aloud, we have our ceremony of water and stones. And what you're invited to do is to walk down the middle here, pick up a stone or stones, and place it in the water, which represents our community. Thanks, Andy. For all that we have shared and for all that we will share in our ongoing lives together, may we be grateful. And I'm wondering if either Margaret or Virginia is going to lead us in the metta meditation. Thank you so much. May I be saved. May I be saved. May I be well. May I know joy. May I be free. May you be saved. May you be well. May you know joy. May you be free. May they be saved. May they be well. May they know joy. May they be free. May all be safe. May all be well. May all know joy. May all be free. Thanks, Virginia. So you'll see in your order of service that we now have a responsive reading. So you'll need your gray hymnals, and please turn to 579 at the back. And as you all know, I'll start off, and then when it's italics, you will join in. Okay, everybody ready? No, still flipping pages, okay? That's all right. We can wait. It's such a good reading. I would not want you to miss it. Okay. Did I hear All right. Oh, somebody needs to get their glasses on. That's fine. We'll wait for you. Yay. Okay, so the title, The Limits of Tyrants. What a great choice Mary made. Yeah. Those who profess to favor freedom and yet deprecate agitation are people who want crops without plowing up the ground. They want rain without thunder and lightning. They want the ocean without the awful roar of its waters. This struggle may be a moral one, or it may be both moral and physical, but it must be a struggle. Power concedes nothing without a demand. It never did, and it never will. Find out what people will submit to, and you have found out the exact amount of injustice which will be imposed upon them. The limits of tyrants are prescribed by the endurance of those whom they impress. And that was by Frederick Douglass. Oh, wow, yeah. And once again, thank you, Mary. Our speaker this morning is Mary MacKay. Mary is a lifelong Unitarian Universalist and longtime member of the Live Oak UU in Alameda and First UU in Honolulu, so she's a traveler. She has preached regularly at both for many years. Mary is a retired geologist and an amused observer and grateful participant in being human. Is happiest when wandering the Bay Area hills. She thinks the arc of the moral universe is very long and does not bend towards justice on its own, but takes all of us every day in ways large and small. Over to you, Mary.
I want to talk to you about Jesus. Not baby Jesus of Christmas or the risen Christ of Easter, but the man who lived in tumultuous times, whose teachings defied his own religious leaders and challenged the power of the Roman Empire. The man who could have fled, who didn't have to go to Jerusalem, who wept in the garden before he was arrested and tortured. Jesus was a troublemaker. In our times, Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, John Lewis, and more, men who preached peace but faced violence, who knowingly and literally walked into the jaws of hatred for something larger than themselves. There are many forms of courage. Most creatures will fight to defend self, family, pack, or tribe. But the farther we get from home, the harder it is. The hypothetical question of whether we would have hidden neighbors in the attic if it meant endangering our own family is disturbingly hard to answer with any certainty. I am not a brave person, but I also think we misunderstand the ways in which we may be called to moral courage to make good trouble. I don't generally like to talk politics in church. There are lots of places to have those discussions, but there are times, and I think we are in one of them, when the moral issues surrounding political events become imperative, and the need to address those moral issues in religious community is essential. The changes have come so fast and furious, it's hard to know which way to turn, and that indeed is the point. The checks and balances designed to restrain executive power have been overwhelmed, and many of those who study such things believe we have already crossed the boundary from democracy to autocracy. Those are words I never thought I would say. In 2016, I said, our institutions will hold. I no longer believe that is true. Congress is impotent. The courts are important, but they cannot save us. Stephen Colbert cannot save us. We have to save us. And while justified outrage comes easily, it is a distraction I can't afford. Instead, I have been reading, thinking, listening, trying to understand both the dangers we confront and how best to resist them. And because I am not by nature a brave person, I have paid particular attention to the actions of the many ordinary people who in deeds large and small have acted in extraordinary ways. One of the hallmarks of autocracy is the use of fear. Fear is ordinarily our ally. It warns us the water is too deep, the tiger too near. Franklin Delano Roosevelt famously said, "The only thing to fear is fear itself." It wasn't true then, and it's not true now. There is plenty to fear. In an interview a few months ago, Lisa Murkowski, a Republican senator from Alaska, said, a senator said, "We are all afraid because retaliation is real. Not only that you may face political retribution, but the threat of violence is real." This spring, the Pennsylvania governor's residence was set on fire In 2020, a United States district judge's son was murdered and her husband shot. People are now using her murdered son's name to send pizzas to the homes of judges. A chilling message. Fear amplifies our perception of risk. When we tiptoe for fear of waking the tiger, when publications and institutions self-censor, when powerful law firms cut deals, when universities roll over, they have ceded the ground without a fight. Capitulation is contagious, but so too is courage. Those who would misuse power know this. They isolate. Like a wolf cutting cattle, you separate one from the herd. It's intentional and predatory. First, one law firm, university, outspoken immigrant. Individuals are vulnerable. In 2010, a wave of pro-democracy uprisings swept through much of the Arab world. There was a story I read at the time, but have never been able to find again, so the details are lost to memory. In one of the many town squares that are common in that part of the world, there was a large and beautiful fountain. Soldiers were stationed nearby to prevent crowds from gathering in the square as they had in other towns. But people would come one at a time and drop a flower into the fountain. When the oppressive government realized that the flowers were a symbol of resistance and show of strength, they didn't have the soldiers stop the people from coming. But as each person dropped their flower and departed, the soldiers would retrieve the flower from the fountain so that when the next person came, instead of taking heart from the many flowers, they would think they were alone. Solidarity is one of the secrets of moral courage. We are not only stronger together, we are braver together. Rosa Parks may have been by herself when she refused to give up her seat on the bus, but she was not alone when the Black citizens of Montgomery walked and carpooled for 381 days. It was a catalyzing moment, like the beatings on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, the fire hoses, lunch counters, the Freedom Riders, like Stonewall, Kent State, like George Floyd. Sometimes there are bright lines that snap us out of the ordinary and into action. But sometimes the rule of law is whittled away bit by bit, and we try to shake off what we think we see, or think this too will pass, as many things do. Our country has come through difficult times before, which is what I have always told myself. But it is also true that we still carry the scars of the Civil War and abandonment of Reconstruction, of Jim Crow, McCarthyism, and Watergate. We have never faced an administration so unconcerned for the Constitution, a Congress so passive in response, or a Supreme Court so complicit. The slide into authoritarianism and dictatorship isn't a single clear line and isn't irreversible. But like climate change, the farther we go, the harder it is to turn around, the greater the harm, and the deeper the scars we will carry. Some of this is within our influence, and some is the cards we are dealt. Stephen Levitsky a Harvard professor who studies the backsliding of democracies, notes two factors in our favor. In democracies that have unraveled, the president has overwhelming approval, 75 to 80%, numbers almost unheard of in America. Lower approval slows the consolidation of power. But even more important than popularity is the organization and financial strength of the society. Whatever our shortcomings, the United States has a very large, very wealthy, very diverse private sector. Beyond Zuckerberg and Bezos, there are literally millions of millionaires in the United States. That's a lot of money and a lot of organizations with high-powered lawyers. There are many well-organized foundations and civic organizations, and the Democratic Party, for all its flaws, presents an organized, well-financed, viable electoral opposition. This does not mean our democracy isn't in real danger. In a democracy, there should not be a risk or cost to publicly opposing the government. Citing attacks against law firms, businesses, media, and universities, Levitsky believes we have already stepped into autocracy, as do I. Many of the wealthiest, most powerful, and most privileged members of our society have been slow to respond and are only now beginning to push back. I am almost daily reminded of the poem First They Came by Martin Niemöller, who began as an anti-Semitic Nazi supporter and was later imprisoned for speaking out against Nazi control of churches. First they came for the communists, he said, and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists, the trade unionists, the Jews, and I did not speak out because I was not a Jew. Then they came for me, and there was no one left to speak for me. Cory Booker speaks of a poverty of empathy, of realizing that this is happening to my neighbor, that this fundamentally implicates me and endangers me. The recent reconciliation bill, now law, has funded the creation of a secret police force and prisons with virtually no oversight, into which people are disappeared. Personal data, which should be protected by privacy laws, is being consolidated into a central database. And the presence of armed and masked men emerging from black SUVs is no longer something that happens somewhere else. It may be, as some think, that extremism will founder under the weight of overreach. But Soviet dissident and chess master Garry Kasparov warns that when one side has a strategy and the opposite side is in disarray, the outcome may not be the one we wish for. Hope is not a strategy. The Nobel Peace Prize nominee Gene Sharp, considered by many to be the world's leading expert on nonviolent revolution, wrote a 93-page guide to toppling autocrats, which has inspired dissidents around the world. Dictators are never as strong as they tell you they are, he once said, and people are never as weak as they think they are. Harvard professor Erica Chenoweth studies nonviolent resistance, terrorism, and state repression. Chenoweth notes that movements are most effective when they reach across the divides and actually change minds. Successful social protests have large, diverse crowds, which suggests that whatever the protesters are saying is something that's both important and widely shared. Protests that are disciplined, with a clear message and plan, are more likely to be viewed sympathetically by those we wish to persuade. The No Kings protests in June drew 4 to 6 million people across the country, many of them waving American flags. I was on the small island of Kauai, where 1,000 people lined the highway in the rain. And for the first time, we were not all aging baby boomers in Birkenstocks. In my heart, I think it matters that people are in the street. But if we sacrifice effectiveness and only give voice to our outrage, we will lose the larger battle. From 1 Corinthians, if I speak in the tongues of men or angels, but have not love, I am like a resounding gong or the clanging cymbal. Without free and fair elections, without an independent judiciary and freedom of thought and expression, without the constitutional protections of our still imperfect union, without a vision that allows us to rise above this moment and still speak across divides, without love of country that transcends politics, we are like a clanging cymbal, and our voices will go unheard. Jesus was a troublemaker. He entered Jerusalem in a deliberate act of theological and political confrontation, riding donkeys, waving palm fronds, mocking the Roman governor. It wasn't pageantry, it was protest. The next day, he went to the temple, the heart of both religious and economic life, and overturned the tables of the bankers. Jesus wasn't killed for preaching love or healing the sick or blasphemy. Rome didn't crucify philosophers or miracle workers. Rome crucified insurrectionists. The sign nailed above his head, King of the Jews, was a political indictment and public warning that those who demand justice will be crushed. Around the world and in our own country, we have seen the risk to those who stand against the forces of oppression. There is nothing about nonviolent resistance that protects you from retribution or from violence. And yet, throughout history, women and men drop flowers into fountains, board buses, link arms, and march for something greater than oneself. Martin Luther King said, "Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that." And courage. When we engage in nonviolent protest and resistance against injustice, when we make good trouble, when we bend the arc of the universe just a little, we are not alone. We stand on the shoulders of giants. May it be so. Amen.
Thank you, Mary, for those powerful and timely words. They mean a lot to me. So everybody, I recognize that I skipped a hymn. What I'm going to try to do is fit it in a little later on, okay? So for now, we go with the order of service, and we're going to join the choir in singing Never Turning Back, and it's page 216 in the Rise Up Singing songbook. We're gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on walking proudly. Keep on walking proudly. Keep on walking proudly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Gonna keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Keep on loving boldly. Never turning back. Never turning back. Sigamos adelante. Sigamos adelante. Sigamos adelante, sin volver atrás, sin volver atrás. Gonna keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. Keep on moving forward. So a big thank you to everybody who worked together on this service. There is so much that goes on behind the scenes before we ever get to celebrate together. Thanks to all of you here and in the Zoom room who are sharing our service today. So our Zoomers are Ben Birch, Bill Balderston, Jean Lieber, Jinky and Mike Gardner, and Simone. Whoa, Simone, all the way from the Canary Islands. That's great. Okay. Please check your order of service and our email newsletter for a variety of announcements. Jeff, do we have other announcements today you wanted to bring up? Okay, I do have one. I just want to remind everybody, I've told you about this before, but this afternoon, my daughter is holding a fundraiser for Democracy Forward. It's a wonderful organization that has been fighting many of the lawsuits against this administration. It's at the Bancroft Community Gardens from 5 to 7, and we'll be singing songs of protest. I have flyers that I'll put on the table out there afterwards. So hope to see some of you there. And now let's sing hymn number 357, Bright Morning Star. No? Typo from last week. Not my mistake. Okay. Well, that's good. Thank you very much. All right, we'll keep going. Now is the time when we share our responsibility for the home which we are creating together. Our shared plate partner for July is the Center for Art Esteem. And if you look around the hall, you will see the art from these folks. And I really encourage you to go up and look at it and read also the little essays that are with those works of art. They're really inspiring. So the Center for Art Esteem's mission is to empower individuals to be self-aware and inspired through art, creativity, and education, making positive choices to break the cycle of violence for themselves and their communities. So they tell us, we envisage a world where everyone is whole, safe, loved, educated, and valued. In all our work, Art Esteem promotes the understanding that we can choose peace over conflict and love over fear. Very worthy goals. Our offertory today will feature Tom Rudderow bringing us another one of his original works.
Getting in. Hi, everybody. I just decided to do this song because it sort of goes along with the theme, Good Trouble, because it mentions a whole bunch of good troublemakers. And then I learned this week that the inspirer of this song, Joanna Macy, along with my friend Dennis in the UK, Joanna just left us this week, our good friend and teacher. So send this out to Joanna. And the bridge, just to remind you, I've played this before, is the call to prophecy of the prophet Isaiah in the Hebrew Bible, where he was up visiting the seventh heaven or something like that, and he was on his way down, and he heard a voice saying, "Who shall I send? Who will go for us?" And he said, "Well, had you asked me before, but having just seen what I just saw, how can I speak for that?" After which he found a hot burning coal purifying his lips and his mouth. And he said, "Here am I, send me." So that's the bridge, just in case you're wondering. And I think Margaret passed out one of the sheets. Oh, okay, so that, yeah, well, figure out the chorus. Fingers aren't working. Julia Butterfly climbing up a tree. And Gandhiji teaching India how to be free. MLK preaching, we want the lay shown by Helen Keller how to clearly see. Shambhala warriors showing us we are the way. Bob Marley liberating our minds with his songs. Karen Silkwood whistleblowing nuclear energy wrongs. Defending native rights, Leonard Peltier, peace builder, sharing peace as she walks along. Shambhala warriors showing us we are the way. Oh, we are the way, we are the way. Shambhala warriors, we are the way. When we show the way, the world will live in peace. Special ones we look up to are making us aware. We are the way, we all are the way. They show us how to care. Daniel Ellsberg risk exposing the Pentagon Papers. Judy Berry fought and struggled FBI and the forest rapers. Brian Wilson gave his legs to fight the nuclear railway. Montecito Mendez defends Brazil's rubber toppers. Shambhala warrior showing us we are the way. Mumia Abu Jamal framed on death row for speaking his mind. Back in force, Bishop Oscar Romero proves his soul, it never dies. Years and years, Helen Caldicott likes nuclear doomsday. Amy Goodman investigating governmental lies. Shambhala warrior showing us we are the way. Who shall I send? Who'll go for us? Who stand and speak the truth? Who'll speak the word of justice and be my voice on earth? I've seen the one. How can I speak? My lips are not yet clean, but cleanse my mouth, no longer seek. Here am I, send me. We are the way, we are the way, Shambhala warriors we are the way, when we show the way, the world will live in peace. These special ones we look up to are making us aware that we are the way, we are the way, they show us how to care. Noam Chomsky proving crimes of United States policies. Bombs and sanctions, Ramsey Clark proof kill innocent Iraqis. Cesar Chavez shares the fate of the harvesters of grave Adonai Shiva, and the chip goes clinging tight to the tree. Shambhala warrior showing us we are the way. Oh, going strong, Ralph Nader still stands for the people and the poor. Activist Joan Baez singing peace with that voice. Ooh, we adore Kathy Kelly, Barbara Lubin, Medea Benjamin. See, we won't let you kill the children with your bloody little wars. Shambhala warrior showing us we are the way. Yeah, we are the way. Yeah, we are the way. We are the way. Shambhala warriors we are the way. When we show the way, the world will live in peace. These special ones we look up to are making us aware that we are the way, we are the way, they show us how to care. We are the way, we are the way, we need no more compare. We are the way, we are the way, they've shown us, now we're there.
Yeah, we are the way. Let us dedicate our offerings to the work of this fellowship, which is creating beloved community within and beyond these walls. We dedicate ourselves and these our offerings. And now I believe we do have another song to sing, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. This The Turning of the World from page 242 in Rise Up Singing. I really love this song.
Every voice, with every song, we will move this world.
Wow. That was cool. So, are there any folks here who are visiting us for the first time and feel like they would like to introduce themselves? It's not mandatory, and there will be other opportunities to talk to you if you would like to stay for lunch, but if you would like, anybody? Great, Melody, come on.
Oh, I didn't know it came with the mic.
Oh, yes.
Melody Armstrong. I'm in Vallejo for work.
Yeah, welcome. We're glad to have you with us today. And
Well,
Phoebe
I'm
wants
not-
to say something.
I'm not new, but I want to say that I'm very happy that there are 2 attendees today from the Friday night dance community.
Oh, lovely.
And I'll take this opportunity to remind people that we have wonderful freestyle, shoe-free, fragrance-free dances here on Friday nights. Lots of fun and good exercise, good DJ music, except, of course, third Friday when we have our open mic.
Oh, and somebody else is reaching for the mic over here. Thanks, Paul.
So I've been outed.
You're a dancer.
I'm a dancer.
Okay.
Lola Volan, Berkeley Hills, and I'm so glad that Phoebe made this information available so that I could check this community out. Thanks.
Great. I'm glad to have you with us today. Any more hands up? No? Okay. Well, welcome to all who are here with us today, in silence or with words, in person or in spirit. And we do have more time to connect, either over lunch, after the service, and in the days to come. And it would be good to connect again next Sunday, August the 3rd. Our very own Sharon Knight will be speaking to us on cultivating delight. And Sharon tells us, practice random kindness and senseless acts of beauty. Remember when that quote inspired a generation and became a movement in the mid-'80s. Now seems a good time to revive this sentiment. When the news is filled with senseless acts of cruelty, we may feel powerless to stop it in that moment, but we can be bastions of hope, kindness, and delight in our own communities. And so in this coming service next week, Sharon will share some of her favorite ways of sparking delight. Now we extinguish our chalice. Okay? Thank you. Please read with us the words in your order of service. We extinguish the flame of this chalice, but not the warmth of love, the light of truth, or the energy of service. These we carry in our hearts until we meet again. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. And as I said previously, after the service, you're welcome to stay and chat, enjoy community, and have lunch with us if you would like. Oh, and now to round out this time together, we will do our usual forming a circle. And please take the hands of those standing next to you and join in singing Circle Round for Freedom.
We close with words of Wayne B. Arneson. Take courage, friends, the way is often hard, the path is never clear, and the stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone. Amen. Go in peace.